we have to leave for that vote. And I'll ask the following question. General Amos, we were advised this morning the Marine Corps has just received approval to deploy a task force to Morón Air Base in Spain. They started moving aircraft and personnel this past weekend. There was an article that was published here, which came out in February, but at the time, the location and makeup of the force had not been released. The purpose of the deployment, I understand, is to help U.S. Africa Command more rapidly respond to events in North Africa. So I'd like to ask you this question. What precipitated this decision, and what do you anticipate the Marines will be called on to do in this new assignment?
Chairman, thanks for the opportunity to talk about it. Yesterday morning, 6 MV-22 Ospreys left New River to stage in Maine on their way across the Atlantic. They'll be followed by, the force will be comprised of about 550 Marines and sailors, and they will predominantly be based to begin with out of Morón, Spain. Their job is to provide a crisis response capability for the combatant commander. General Ham, when he was the combatant commander and I talked about it, you take a look at the forces that would be available in the Africa theater, and there, with the exception of just a few SOF and, of course, Marines and embassies and security forces, there's very few others that he has available to respond to a crisis. So this is an opportunity now to provide him that crisis response force. It'll have a Marine infantry company reinforced. It'll have signals intelligence, cybercom capabilities, and logistics. And they'll be able to respond to both he and to the combatant commander in EUCOM as they see fit.
It's my understanding that the current deployment to Sigonella in Italy has resulted in the frequent deployment of 15 to 20-man teams to advise, assist, and train friendly militaries in Africa. And the most recent iteration deployed from Camp Lejeune was about 130. The numbers you've given us sound at least comparable, if not substantially more than Sigonella. What will be the difference in the types of assignments that this new unit might face?
Chairman, the Sigonella detachment, which we stood up almost a year ago now, is predominantly for training, advising, and assisting, giving General Ham, then now General Rodriguez, the ability to actually do in small teams, train with his African partners. This response team that I just described, the Crisis Response Force, it can do training, but it is also, if something happens, you now have an asset that you can move very quickly, along with the C-130 tankers and the V-22s. You can move it very quickly in the Africa continent to respond to a crisis.
So have you been given any indication, at least the area